The U.S. men's national team, Sam, let's get locked in, is playing Bosnia and Herzegovina, round of 32, this Wednesday night, 8 p.m., San Francisco. I'm pumped. We're 2-1-0 all time. Never lost to Bosnia. We haven't, however, beaten a European country for, I think, like double-digit matches now. I was seeing the stat float around. Yeah. It's been a long time since we've beaten a European team. So now's the time. Let's go and do it. Obviously, Bosnia, they find their way through. We shouldn't overlook them. Just like with Australia, the same thing now. Just ask Canada. They tie in their first match against Bosnia. This is a big physical team that I think will probably look to counter and find some chances on set pieces. But I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I do. I actually do think it'll be a good match. Hopefully a better second half for us. I think, it'll be relatively close in the first half, but second half, I want the U.S. to pull away. But Ryan, coming into this one, the U.S. men's national team starting 11. I mean, same lineup that we saw against Australia plus Pulisic potentially, or do you go with Pulisic the full 90, maybe 45? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
You got to start Christian. I think you start Christian and you drop Pepe and you go very similar to Paraguay. I think you didn't see enough out of Pepe in the last match that you feel really confident about that. And Malik Tillman's just been the guy. Like, he's
even a semi-injured Christian Pulisic, right, looked better than Pepe.
Yeah.
So I think starting Pulisic is a no-brainer in this one.
No-brainer. And then can we get an early goal again? Just make it 4 matches in a row.
Yeah.
But I look that the past match gave them a little bit of like, hey, we shouldn't overlook teams. We shouldn't, take anything for granted. There's going to be a ton of hopefully spirit in the squad and just fighting for their brothers again. Atmosphere in San Francisco, we haven't seen the U.S. play there yet. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited to see the march. I'm excited to see the pregame. It's going to be an exciting one, but I think we can all agree the lineup will be pretty darn close to what you've seen in either the first or the second, maybe with a little tactical wrinkle there, like we talked about with the 2-striker thing like he did against Australia. I don't necessarily feel that way though. I think, would you lock in Tillman there and drop Pepe?
Yeah, I think
Christian in as well.
Yeah, whatever that first starting lineup was against Paraguay, run that out.
Yeah.
That's your best starting 11 right there, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sam, talk to us a little bit about Bosnia.
Yeah, so, a little bit of a scouting report on Bosnia. Once again, one of the tournament's, surprise stories out of their group, qualified through the playoffs, eliminating Wales and Italy to get to the World Cup in general. Very organized, very physical, and kind of like Australia, very dangerous on set pieces. And so they have no problem conceding possession and look for direct service into their veteran striker, Edin Džeko. He's been around for a while, and he's been a goal scorer for every club that he's ever played for. But once again, coming into the round of 32, they drew against Canada in their first matchup, then lost 1-4 to Switzerland, and then won 3-1 against Qatar. So they've been all over the spectrum. Win, loss, draw, they've got it all. So they're seasoned. They know how to kind of get through those different runs of form. But Ryan, as far as key players, I just said Džeko, 40 years old, plays for Schalke in the Bundesliga. And then they've got a couple other players that have hard names to pronounce. So bear with us or me, because I think Ryan's just going to throw me under the bus on this one. So I'll try it. So Ermedin Demirović, 28 years old, plays for VF Stuttgart, which is another German team, kind of their leading attacking player, and he's in his prime at 28. And then Amar Dedić plays for Benfica, is kind of more of a wing back, right back, very dynamic. And then your last one, Esmir Bajraktarević. I butchered that so bad, but it's crazy that I butchered his last name.
I think Bajraktarević.
All right, that he's U.S. born, so he plays for PSV right now, and he actually, fun fact, has a senior U.S. men's national team cap that he played against Slovenia in 2024. However, because it was a friendly and not a competitive official match in 2025, FIFA approved his one-time switch to Bosnia, and he's become just a star on their team at 21 years old.
Pretty cool. I think like I remember hearing about this guy and his switch. You know, he was with New England Revolution, I think, at one point too. But yeah, imagine how he feels. He's been playing like a lot of minutes too for them, and he was the one that I think actually made his PK to send them to the World Cup. So
against Italy,
pretty revered player, you know, for Bosnia there. So yeah, he's going to be playing out of his mind in this one too. But I'm just really excited, honestly, to have more of our like A squad back in the vibes with them, because I really loved what we were seeing out of them intensity wise. They're now coming, you know, a little over a week and a half off of a break since their last match. Sam, does that kind of help the team, hurt the team a little bit? What do you think about that?
I think it helps. I think against Turkey, you kind of get banged up a little bit, specifically for guys like Pulisic, right? To have just an extra day to become more dynamic against Bosnia, get your feet under you. But at the same time, it can maybe get you a little bit more relaxed than you might want. So yeah, obviously it could affect you both ways, but hoping it's the latter.
Yeah, I could see it kind of that, like, you haven't really had like the game minutes as of late, but these guys are pros. I mean, they're used to going out and doing it, you know, even if there's a little bit of a break.
To be fair, a lot of our guys are rotational guys in their club. So I think they're kind of used to sitting it out, maybe a couple matches here and there.
Not the starters though. I mean, Tyler Weston, they normally play. Flo does. Tillman maybe, yeah. But the back line, I don't know. Either way, they're going to be ready. Like, you're got to get up for this one. I mean, we still got to show it. I think a lot of people are overlooking it, and they just have to go and find a way. We saw again Paraguay beating Germany, like, and we saw that Japan, you know, almost snuck one by Brazil. Like, this is do or die for both teams. Like, and they're just going to be finding a way. So for Bosnia, it's going to be sit back, you know, try to win set pieces and do what you can to get the crowd out of it. For the U.S., start fast again, and then force Bosnia to play, you know, out of a low block and see if they can, you know, create something out of that. But don't give away the set pieces. I think that's the big key for it. And I think for us, just the resolve in the team, because we really, with this A squad team, haven't really been down. So even if we do go down, not to freak out.
Yeah.
You know, hey, there's chances to still come back. I could see, I hate these matches because you feel so good about it, and then Bosnia comes out and just hits you in the mouth. So I just hope that doesn't happen, and we can find something positive.
Yeah, I want that same team. If we do go down, I want that same team that we saw against Germany, right? Come back quickly and punch back, right?
Right.
If you're able to maybe get a couple subs in the second half, right, to help rejuvenate. I look forward to seeing what this U.S. squad can do in the round of 32. But Ryan, prediction wise, I've got the U.S. winning 2-0. I think Bosnia will give us a tough look for most of the match, and then I think second half is where it really opens up.
3-1 for me. 3-1 win. I think you see a close match, like you said. I hope we get a first half goal. It goes 1-1, 2-1 us, and then they send a lot forward, and we get a late goal to kind of seal it. 3-1 for me. It's going to be a tight one. I think, again, just any knockout match now, you know, as we move forward, is just going to be super tight. Not a lot, you know, between the teams, even though, like, skill wise, we might be better on paper. You know, again, they can just play this out and go to PKs. So as we talk about that, if it goes to extra time, we might have to rely on a little bit of the subs. And now that Pochettino's seen in Turkey a match like who I can rely upon, Sam, I feel a lot less confident in bringing Tim Weah, you know, off the bench in a big moment now. So he might have to rely on some of our starters for a while. I'm just hoping we can take care of it in 90 minutes, personally.
I would agree with that, but Tim, he's a veteran, right? He played in the last World Cup. I think it would be naive of us to go, oh, you know, this is going to get in his head, and he's done, right? As a player, no, he's a professional player. You shake a bad bad form off, right? You go back to training, you work on things, and you come back a better player for when the U.S. does call your number, you show up in a big way.
Yeah, no, I like that. I hope you're right. Yeah, I really do. And then, Berhalter is an option, Pepe, obviously, and past that, Gio Reyna, maybe as another offensive option, maybe Haji Wright. Don't love like Brendan Aronson. Like, I'd probably go to Gio before I'd go to Brendan. But yeah, man, I'm excited for it, just to see a meaningful match again. Because it was fun to watch them play again, against Turkey, but it was like, doesn't really mean much. But now you're like edge of your seat, like rearing and ready to go.
Yeah.
I think as you guys go and see the watch parties, like everyone's going to be locked into this one. Probably going to be the most watched match for U.S. men's national team game ever.
I probably. And then the
You
next
got to
one,
think.
and then the next one, and then the next one. Yeah.